अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वेनैव लभेन समं प्रशन्तं विनोपशर्पति अपरं हि बालिशः स्वालङ् स्वालङ्गुले न अतितार्ति सिन्धुम्. Venkat Nrsimha Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, I can unmute.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Avismitam tam paripurna kamam svenaiva labhena samam prasantam vinopaparpatya param hi balisa swalagna lena atititirti sindhum. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Krishna. Madhumay Krishna Kanta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Avismitam Tam Paripurna Kamam Svenaiva Labhena Samam Prashantam Vinopasarpati Aparam Hi Balishaha Shvalangulena Atititarti Sindhum. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Dhanva Pranam.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya Avisvitam Tam Paripurnakamam Svenaina Labhena Samam Prashantam Vinopasarpatya Param Ibhalishaha Shvalangulena Atitirtati Sindhum. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Pranandini Madhvi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनपर्सपति अपरां हि बालिशः स्वलाङ्गुलेन तितिरतर्ति सिन्धुं. हरे कृष्ण माताजी थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणमालु. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसर्पत्य परं हि लाले बालिशाः स्वलाङ्गुलेन तितितति सिद्धुम्.
Thank you. Madhusoni Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी.
Dhanva
ओम
Pranam.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वेनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसर्पत्य परं हि बालेश स्वलाङ्गुलेन तीतितर्ति सिन्धुम्. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Revati Ratnangi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Mataji, please unmute yourself. I muted you by mistake.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Om Namo
Dhanva
Bhagavate Vasudevaya Avismidam Tam Paripurna Kamam Swaneya Labhena Samam Prachandam Vinoba Sarpadi Abaram Hi Palichaha Swalangulena Didi Darti Sindhum. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Shubha Rao Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी धनुक प्रणाम.
Dhanva Pranam.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वेनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसर्पत्य परं हि बालिशः स्वलाङ्गुलेन तितितर्ति सिन्धुम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Shakti Avasthi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम. अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वेनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसर्पत्य परं हि बालिश स्वलाङ्गुलेनातिति तरति सिन्धुम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Amrita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. अविस्मृतं तं परिपूर्णकामं स्वनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसर्पत्य परं हि बालिशः श्वलाङ्कुलेनातितर्ति सिन्धुं हरे कृष्ण
Thank you. Usha Devati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अविस्मितं तं परिपूर्ण कामं स्वेनैव लाभेन समं प्रशान्तं विनोपसापति अपरं हि विलाश स्वलंगुलेन अतितीर्थार्ति सिंधुम थैंक यू माताजी हरे कृष्ण
Krishna. Avishmitam, who is never struck with wonder. Tam, him. Paripurna Kamam, who is fully satisfied. Svena, by his own. Eva, indeed. Labhena, achievement. Samam, equipoised. Prashantam, very steady. Veena, without. Upasharpati, approaches. Aparam, another. He, indeed. Balisha, a fool. Swa, of a dog. Langulena, by the tail. Atiti Tarti, want to cross. Sindhum, the sea. Translation by His Divine Grace Shabad Ki Jai. Free from all material conceptions of existence and never wonderstruck by anything, the Lord is always jubilant and fully satisfied by His own spiritual perfection. He has no material designations and therefore He is steady and unattached. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only shelter of everyone. Anyone desiring to be protected by others is certainly a great fool who desires to cross the sea by holding the tail of a dog. Purport by His Divine Grace Shabad Ki Jai. A dog can swim in the water, but if a dog dives in the ocean and someone wants to cross the ocean by holding the dog's tail, he is certainly fool number one. A dog, Krishna, cannot cross the ocean, nor can a person cross the ocean by catching a dog's tail. Similarly, one who desires to cross the ocean of nescience should not seek the shelter of any demigod or anyone else, but the fearless shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto 14th chapter verse 58 therefore says, Samashritaye padapallava plavam mahad padam punya yasho murare bhavam budhir vatsa padam param padam 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 yadvipadam natesham. The Lord's lotus feet are an indestructible boat, and if one takes shelter of that boat, he can easily cross the ocean of nescience. Consequently, there are no dangers for a devotee, although he lives within this material world, which is full of dangers at every step. One should seek the shelter of the all-powerful instead of trying to be protected by one's own concocted ideas. Umagyan timirandasya gyan anjana shalakaya chakshurinmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadabhyam Radati Padantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Ninbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishbhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shiva Sati Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shnavati Paschatya Deshatarine. Free from all material conceptions of existence and never wonderstruck by anything, the Lord is always jubilant and fully satisfied by his own spiritual perfection. He has no material designations and therefore he is steady and unattached. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only shelter of everyone. Anyone desiring to be protected by others is certainly a great fool who desires to cross the sea by holding the tail of a dog. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, which is called as Prescribed Duties of the Mankind, chapter number 9, oh Krishna, which is called as what?
Appearance of demon Vritrasura.
Appearance of the demon Vritsasura. And who is singing this prayer? Who is singing this prayer? Who's
The
singing this prayer?
Demigods.
demigods are praying to
Demigods.
Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Very nice. Thank you. So demigods are praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because after reciting the Narayan Kavach, Indra did get back his kingdom. He was reestablished in his glory in the heavenly planets. But Twashta, the father of Krishna, sorry, father of Vishwarup, performed the sacrifice to generate a demon who will kill Indra. And of course, he chanted the mantra in a wrong manner, long instead of short. And then the demon who came out was actually Indra was his enemy, not he was the enemy. So, nevertheless, there's a description of Vritsasura who appeared from that sacrifice, and how Vritsasura and three demigods had a war, and how Vritsasura was absorbing everything that demigods were sending his way. And that made demigods take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead one more time because they could find no solace. And then this is one of the prayers that demigods are praying to Krishna in his glorification. So you see, we are seeing that when demigods are in danger, they take care of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why they are demigod. But if they're very loudly, this is demigods praying to Krishna, saying that you're the only protector, only shelter of everyone. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only shelter of everyone. So this is a way to pray. When we pray to Krishna, it's not that we go in front of the deities and say, okay, this is my list, fulfill the demands. No, to first of all glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No, and it's not that Krishna is looking for the glorification. We're glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead so that our mind becomes focused as to who we are speaking to. Okay, it's not that it's otherwise the relationship is not established. It's like you go to a marketplace, and then the mind is focused on the purchasing item, the item that we want to buy, and we don't make any relationship with the person that we are doing transaction with, and then just come out. So we don't even remember. Do you remember who checked you out at the shop in the market? Do you remember, or do you remember the thing in your hand? What do you remember? You go to do the shopping. What do we remember?
Thing in our hand.
The hand.
Right. So you see, and so there is no interaction. I'm just trying to draw a corollary. It's not that this is what it's going on here, but just trying to make one understand. But in the case of the relationship between the soul and the super soul, we have to take few moments. We must take few moments. And we have read so many prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam so far. And every time anyone has gone to Krishna for any purpose, they have first taken a moment to glorify the Lord. So I was thinking, why? It's uniform, it's everywhere we go. We have Queen Kunti's prayers. She wants to ask Krishna not to go. That's her desire. But before she asks that, she glorifies Krishna, right? And we have so many Dhruva Maharaj prayer. We have so many prayers, and this is another prayer, Purusha Shukta prayers in third canto. So many prayers are there, and each prayer we are learning that every devotee is taking a moment, a step back from the reason why they came to Krishna and just glorifying Krishna. Just putting their mind and heart on who Krishna is. And it is for our own benefit. So this is a glorification. Krishna knows why demigods have come. But because of the activity or action of the demigods to take movement to glorify him, their heart becomes purified. Otherwise, we just go and ask Krishna, give me this, and we come out. Where is the purification? Where is the purification? Where is the relationship? So that's why they're demigods. They know this. They know the principle. Okay. And when we will read the prayers of Hiranyakashipu, and when Hiranyakashipu will have the vision of Lord Brahma, we don't hear Hiranyakashipu glorifying Brahma so much or glorifying. the Supreme Personality of Godhead so much, because he's so absorbed in his own concocted idea that because I have done so many austerities, so I kind of deserve this now. Okay, you have come, thank you, and you actually can give me this benediction, so here's my list. Okay, that's why he's demon, even though he has done austerities. But here we're seeing that we are not seeing demigods have done like a lot of austerities, but they are glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Krishna, in his element. And they know that they have approached somebody, a Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is free from all material conceptions of existence. Like we have so many material conceptions of existence. It's a conception. It is not a reality. That is why Prabhupada is ending the purport in his own concocted idea, right? Prabhupada is writing at the end, one should seek the shelter of the all-powerful instead of trying to be protected by one's own concocted idea. So material conception of existence means what? And one who is free from all, that I am something of this material world. My existence is defined by something in this material world. And we are saturated with that idea from 24/7. Okay, somebody who is not in Krishna consciousness is not in spiritual conception, is not in the spiritual realm at all. Don't be mistaken. And you will be able to read it as we chant Hare Krishna more attentively. You'll read it that, okay, one may be very warm-hearted personality, very caring personality, but that's also under the realm of material conception of existence. Krishna is not like that. Krishna's love is not in the material conception of existence. What he cares for is the soul inside the body, and how to grab that element out, how to get that soul back to his home. Never wonderstruck by anything. Krishna is equipoised, right? Is equipoised, is never wonderstruck by anything. Nothing. Is that true though? That he is never wonderstruck by anything? See, I don't want to go into detail, but there is a difference in how Krishna is described by the devotees in Vrindavan, in his element in Vrajadham, and the devotees who are not in Vrindavan. So he is never struck by anything. And but in Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, we see that Krishna gets struck so many times by his devotee, so much so that he took actually he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand that how come Radharani is loving him so much. So he's wonderstruck by her love to him. But that is Vrajavasi, that's Vrindavan Dham rasa. Okay, but this is by devotees who are not in Vrindavan, which is fine. Krishna will accept anything because it is coming to him, which is fine, because that is why when we compose a prayer to Supreme Personality of Godhead, we compose a prayer from where we see Krishna, like what is our understanding. Of course, not concocted idea, it has to be checked by the Guru Sadhu and Shastra principle. Not everyone is going to praise Krishna and as Mother Yashoda does, right? Everyone is going to have their own individual idea or relationship, not idea. Krishna is always happy, always fully satisfied in his own spiritual perfection, right? That is why he's called as Atmaram. There is a prayer like that by Queen Kunti. What is the prayer? Anyone remembers? Namo Akinchana Vittaya.
Namo
Namo
Akinchana Namo
Namo Namo Akinchana Vittaya. Namo Atmaramaya Shantaya Kevalya Pataye Namaha. Namo Akinchana Vittaya Nivritta Gunavittaye Atmaramaya Shantaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So yeah, so this Prabhupada explains this verse. So it's Namo Akinchana Vittaya. Namo Akinchana Vittaya. Krishna Namo Akinchana Vittaya. So Atmaramaya Shantaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Prabhupada gives such a nice class, I remember. Namo, yes, Mataji, what is the verse? Namo Kinchana Nivritta Guna Vittaye.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Mataji. Kinchana Vittaya. Just I
Nivri,
forgot.
Nivrit,
No, no, Kinchana Vittaya. I just forgot, Mataji.
Nivritta Guna
Yes.
Vittaye. Atma Ramaya Shantaya.
Kaivalya Pataye Namaha.
Kevalaya Pataye Namaha. Very nice. Yes, Mataji. Madhumay Krishna Ganta,
नमो
Mataji.
किञ्चन वित्ताय निवृत्तगुणवृत्तये
Atmanam.
आत्माय शान्ताय कैवल्यपतये नमः.
Very nice. Thank you. So yeah, this is a verse. So see, together we stand. Thank you for helping me. So namo akinchana vittaya nivritta gunavittaye atmaramaya shantaya kevalya pataye namaha. So Prabhupada explains that word atmaram there. And of course, Chaitanya Chaitamrita, there's the elaborate discussion of atmaram verse between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. So we hear that Krishna is actually very happy with himself. Okay, I have seen, and you might have seen as well, that anyone who is in Krishna consciousness, one of the very powerful signs of a devotee is that their own personal space is very powerful, right? Like if a non-devotee, a person who is not in Krishna consciousness, they may appear very powerful outside of their personal space, meaning when they are interacting with the world. But if they are left with their own self, alone with their own mind, it's a very weak spot. But in a fully Krishna conscious person, like we read, we see about Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, when they are alone, this Srimad Bhagavatam comes out. You see, the translation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Chaitamrita comes out when they're sitting alone. And we saw that Prabhupada was pleading to his disciples and grand disciples to share the curse of Narad Muni so he can sit down at one place and finish the translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is one of the signs of a very Krishna conscious person, that they are very powerful in their own space because they're so satisfied in their service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that nothing else matters. You see, nothing else matters. A normal person, when they're left alone, the mind will start bombarding about all the hankerings and lamentations and losses and disturbance. This happened, that happened, or this non-prescription painkiller will start in the form of mindless scrolling. But a Krishna conscious person is very happy because they have taken complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the real sense. Okay, so one of the markers that if we always ask this question to ourselves, and we should be asking this question to ourselves, that whether I'm advancing in Krishna consciousness or not, one of the elements we can check is when I am alone, where is my mind going? Where is my mind going when I am alone and sitting? Am I disturbed? So then we know the answer, okay? So that I still have a lot of room for improvement. So Krishna, this is a very powerful line, that Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only shelter of everyone. Only shelter of everyone. It's not that Krishna, there is an exception to the rule. There is no exception to the rule. Krishna is the only shelter. And these are demigods praying. And we say that there are so big devotees of demigods floating in the world, but the demigods are praying that Krishna is the only shelter. And if anybody takes shelter of anyone else, it is like trying to cross the ocean by catching a dog's tail. It won't be possible. So this is expression of the free of this is a free expression of complete vulnerability and dependence. The demigods are not proud of being demigods because they have so much of power and they have so many followers, at least at this moment. Okay, we have moment to moment change in our thoughts, at least at this moment. What I can feel in my heart is that this is a moment of complete vulnerability. They're completely surrendering that Krishna, only you, Tvam Ekam, right? Sharanam Braja. Krishna says Tvam Ekam, Arjun says Tvam Ekam, and Krishna says Mam Ekam. is in Bhagavad Gita. So if we really have to look at our life and gauge our life by the success markers, because the outside world has given us some of the markers, right? Whether we are successful or not. I cannot tell you how many people suffer from the feeling of being a failure in life when we compare our life with that markers. You know, there's some markers, right? Did you get good education? Do you have this much of money in your account? Do you have a family circle? Do you have friends? Do you have, I don't know, like so many assets? Have you made so many assets? So the markers, like, did you work in a good company, or did you work in a good place where you actually were able to escalate your growth in your career? There are markers given in this material world for a particular person to match their, mirror their life and say whether are you leading a successful life, or are you leading a mediocre life, or are you leading a okay life, or not so successful, or a failure. And if one is not in Krishna consciousness, one gets victimized by it completely. There are so many teenagers, so many young adults. I'm actually personally mentoring some of the young adults right now, that they actually have this much like, okay, we are going to fail in our life. You know, there's going to be a failure waiting for me out there. So, but Krishna consciousness gives us the real view of what is a success in life. You see, there is such, it empowers one from our spiritual platform. I was talking to my friend today about Srila Prabhupada. Like Srila Prabhupada, you know, if Prabhupada, we learn from Srila Prabhupada's life, when Srila Prabhupada was trying to establish International Society for Krishna Consciousness in India, Srila Prabhupada practically says himself, right, that I was rejected, dejected, suppressed, depressed, even by my own God brothers. Nobody wanted to do this. Nobody. So it was very easy, you know, to succumb. And it was very reasonable in an eye of others to succumb to such kind of criticism 24/7. And because Prabhupada was a sannyasi, it's not that he has a long line of followers and he has a very amiable family that he can go and seek support. No. I was listening to one lecture by Swami Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, and over there he said that he heard some interviews with the devotees of Radha Damodar temple where Prabhupada was staying before he came to America, and the priest of the temple was interviewed, and he said that the priest said that one morning, early morning, like around 3 in the morning, Prabhupada would go and broom the area of Rupa Goswami Prabhupada Samadhi. You know, in Radhamala temple, when we circumambulate, there is Rupa Goswami Prabhupada Samadhi there, right? So he would go and broom that place. And one morning, he heard the crying, okay? And the priest, he went and saw that Prabhupada was crying, okay? And then said, what is making you cry? He said, the whole world is waiting for this particular message, and I'm just seeking permission from Rupa Goswami Prabhupada to allow me to spread his words across the world. So this is his marker of success, not the external markers that, okay, I'm going to be successful only if I have done this in my life, you know, only if I have made my name in internet and the whole world can look me up by just writing my name, or in a positive manner, or only if I have hundreds and thousands of assets in my bank, or only if I have such a good family in my background. Prabhupada refuted everything. See, Krishna uses the life of a pure devotee to show that what is a real success. Krishna shows. So if we want to be Krishna conscious, be ready to redefine the whole dynamics around us. Be ready to redefine what really defines our success in life. Is it an external marker? Or is it the growth in Krishna consciousness? I'm not saying that the external marker is not important, or there is no relevance, but it is not the aim of one's life. Okay, that's not what we are going to be thinking about when I'm taking my last breath. I'm not going to be thinking about, when did I get my promotion here? What medal I won at what age? No, it's so the ultimate goal of life. I'm also not saying that this is all meaningless. I'm not saying that either. Okay, we will find this is all. Prabhupada say that material life is zero, Krishna is one. We can add as many zeros as we want, but don't forget to add one in front of the zeros, and the zero value will increase. Then our life becomes inspirational. Okay, when we see a devotee who is very famous, who is very rich, who is very beautiful, who whatever the six kind of things that we run around, qualities that we run around in this world, but we see that person is a devotee, that makes us more happy, right? Okay, this person is using their opportunity that they have been given in life in the right manner in Krishna's service. This is a nice life. We have example of Dhruv Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Arjun, Queen Kunti. So many examples are there that they are Mother Yashoda are so beautiful, so famous, so rich, so educated, so talented, so renounced, or so loving, but they are Krishna conscious. We seek for that. One must seek for that. Otherwise, we'll be leading a life where we are holding the tail of a dog to cross over the ocean. The powerful statements. And if we remain in that kavach, or the shield of protection of the words of Srimad Bhagavatam and Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we will not be so impacted by ups and downs of life. Because you say, this is not my aim. I have to go across the ocean and not get succumbed to ups and downs in the middle of the ocean. So, very nice prayer, right? It's a very nice prayer describing Krishna's qualities in great detail. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections? Am I audible?